I'd like to welcome my kind of everything is about trade day guest to Vincent Reinhart, Mellon chief economist. Vincent, let's get right into it. I want to talk about markets and how you think this phase one, even though we don't have the details, may shape up and how the markets will view it. But in the beginning, I heard a couple of comments today that the Chinese are the best negotiators. They take a long view. You know, they're steadfast. They're really good at it. I think to myself, being a communist, you don't have to worry about elections. You can print anything in the newspapers you want. I think that's a very conventional wisdom faux pas. This president's been under siege since day one, and he's moved the ball pretty far. What do you think about the negotiating skills of both countries and how this deal is going to end up?
Two parts about that. The one thing is on the U.S. side of the table, there has been radical transparency, maybe even a little too much talk about as the contestants in the White House put out their view. And so we flip just about every day. On the Chinese side, they release what they want to release when they want to release it. That gives them a competitive advantage. Another fact I'd like to put into the mix, Rick, is when China was granted accession to the WTO back in 2001, it was the fifth largest economy. It was nestled in between Germany and Italy, not looking too threatening. Now it's the second largest economy. It's got a big footprint on the global stage, and therefore it has some heft in negotiations.
Now, you know, having said all that, it looks as though something is about to break, but of course we're all most worried not about purchases of grain. The Chinese need to eat and their population is growing, but about IT and the protections. In your final minute, it certainly seems as though the Trump administration is working various protections in. Do you think that's something that can be modeled and interpreted and enforced?
Enforcement is the hard part. Go back to read Representative Lighthizer speeches and testimonies over the year. That's the issue is going to be really focused on market access, protection of intellectual property rights. That's why they're calling it a phase one deal, because they want to come back to phase two and see how well promises were kept with regard to protecting property rights and granting market access.
You know, Vincent, we're going to run out of time. We have that press conference coming up real quickly. Do you think the market has priced in the full efforts of this deal, phase one being signed, given the implications for a positive input into global growth? Your final thought.
You don't price anything in until after it's signed because anything can happen. I think the important part about the deal is reversing some things that were bad, increasing tariffs, and taking off the table something that was going to be even worse, another increase in tariffs. So it's the absence of a bad thing that's good for the outlook.